Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm going to be comparing the two Avengers compound sets made by LEGO. On the left we've got the 2019 Avengers Compound Battle, and on the right we've got its direct remake, the Avengers Endgame Final Battle from 2021. The Compound Battle came out in March 2019 to coincide with the release of Endgame. It was the only set actually based on the movie because everything else was just like concept art or something that LEGO made up. And unfortunately, people still had a lot of issues with it, and I think that the new set is, a much needed upgrade. The old set retailed for $100 in the US with 2 big figs, 4 minifigures, and 1 nano figure. The new set has 5 minifigures, 1 big fig, and 1 nano figure. Like I said, these are pretty much direct remakes of each other. I don't usually show the minifigures in my comparison videos, and it took me like an hour to dig out all of the minifigures for this one. But I wanted to spotlight them because, again, like I said, this is a direct remake, and a lot of the minifigures are the same. Of course, we have 2 Thanoses. The new one is so much better because I'll get to that in a second. But as for the rest of the figures, the old one had Hulk, which I didn't really care about. It also had Nebula in the Quantum Realm suit. That's not a very special figure because the only exclusive part of her is the face. Then we had an Outrider, whatever, those were a dime a dozen. We have the Quantum Realm Ant-Man nano figure, which is really nice. Then we had the Mark 85 Iron Man, which was exclusive, and we had Carol Danvers, or Captain Marvel. However, that minifigure also wasn't exclusive because it was just a repeat of the one from her own movie set. The new set has the same Mark 85, but with a really nice shield that is stickered, but I still think it's a great accessory because that suit, can build out a lot of accessories. It's got our first Scarlet Witch minifigure in 5 years, our first regular suit Ant-Man nano figure since 2016. Yeah, also in 5 years because he last showed up in a set with Scarlet Witch. We also have the rest of the Trinity with an exclusive Captain America, a brand new variant of Thor, and a new variant of Black Panther. We still have a random grunt guy because we have one single Chitauri figure. So you can see it's pretty even. You kind of get some random heroes, Iron Man, one super-powered female superhero, and then Thanos and an accompanying army guy. The new Thanos is definitely an upgrade, though. This older version, he was armored in this set, which was kind of annoying. Like, he was armored at the start of this battle, but this looks nothing like MCU Thanos because it's a mold that was made for the comic book Thanos. He also had a hammer for some reason, which Thanos didn't use in the movie, and even his torso printing I didn't think was that great. The new Thanos, on the other hand, has wonderful torso printing. He has a bald, movable head, which is fascinating to me, and definitely, the best. This is the best Big Fig LEGO's ever made to me, even though there have been others that are more detailed. And so I just think it represents an improvement in every way except the arms. This Thanos was the first Big Fig to have arm printing, and that was very welcome. I actually got a second copy of the Avengers Compound Battle set on sale during Amazon Prime Day this year. So I'm going to be putting my extra Thanos' arms on the new guy, but I'm going to have a whole Thanos minifigure comparison video, so watch out for that. And lastly, let's take a quick look at Captain Marvel versus Scarlet Witch, because these are, Marvel's 2 most powerful superheroes, in the movies at least. I really love, the Power Burst packs that they outfit them with. I kind of like Carol's better, just because they're more interesting because they use more pieces than Wanda's. But Wanda has the nicer stand to me because she does have this new, for 2021, splat, base piece, which works a lot better than this dish that Carol has. But overall, I just think it's really funny how, we get one of these super powerful women in each of these sets, and they each have, pretty much the exact same stand and Power Blast setup, but just in different colors. Before we get to the buildings themselves, let's take a look at the vehicles. The 2019 compound came with 2 vehicles in dark blue, whereas the new set comes with 1 in brown. Now, the old compound faced a lot of complaints, especially about these vehicles driving up the price point, because each of these, would be a $10 build on their own. I also feel like they were kind of useless, so I wasn't thrilled about that, but you know what? I've always felt this way, even back in 2019. I love these things. Even though I think that they are useless additions, they are such fantastic builds. We've got this little helicopter. By the way, I never reviewed the 2019 set, but I do have a review of the 2021. But this helicopter is really nice. I love the color scheme. It's got an interesting kind of tail boom build. Nice rotors. It's got a Gatling gun on the front. It's just a nice little helicopter. Even this car, I think that this is one of the best LEGO cars I've ever seen. I really love it. I love how like built up it is around the sides. Again, I really like that dark blue and dark gray color scheme, and it's got a turret on the back. So even though these are completely useless, it's not like Iron Man drove a car to battle Thanos and Nebula did not fly down in a helicopter blazing machine gun fire. There's still really good builds that greatly increase the play value. On the other hand, Luis's van from Ant-Man and the Wasp is actually accurate to the scene, and, you know, if Lego's going to throw a vehicle in there, it still adds play value, but why not make it actually screen accurate? So I'm happy that we got this. I don't mind that we get a vehicle in this set, and this does have the quantum tunnel in the back, which was a very important plot point. However, I still think it's kind of boring that this is just a sticker. It's not even, like, it's not trying to be a build at all, which, I mean, I don't know how they could have built it, but I really would have preferred even just, like, I would have preferred a box with this as a sticker at the end. You know, I would have preferred, like, a little bit of, even if this sticker was just right back here, at least then it would feel a little bit more like a tunnel to me. This doesn't have the stud shooters or anything, but it's still a pretty nice build, and it can fit several minifigures inside, which is an improvement over these one-seater vehicles. The other thing that these compound builds have in common is that they both have some fluff. The new set cuts down on a lot of the fluff, but it's still got a couple things poking out the side. We do have this little Avengers A sign in the rubble. I don't mind that because Thanos did blow this entire compound sky high in Endgame, so I like getting a little bit of rubble, and I think that, try to drag that into frame a little bit more, I think it's a very nice piece of rubble. I think it looks very good. However, this little turret on the side with the spring-loaded missile, that is absolutely useless. It's like the same build from the 2020 helicarrier that everyone hated, so that didn't need to be here. I will argue that the 2019 fluff is worse, though, because it has an entire garage that's like the same size as the compound. Again, it's a very nice garage. We have a little satellite dish over here. You've got some turrets up above. You've even got like a little barrier for the car to go through. And it's got a working garage door. I don't buy city police stations. So to me, people like insulted this set by calling it like a Marvel police station. But I kind of liked it because I don't have any of those police stations. And this still doesn't feel super kiddish to me. The thing I always hated about this garage was that one side was completely open. I really thought that that should have been covered up. But it's a nice little build, and it does try to capture that design of Avengers compound in the movie. Because in the movie, you have the main compound area, but then you also have like a rectangular angled area. So I like that the garage, even though it's not angled, it kind of tries to, you know, emulate that extra section. On top, it's even got a helipad for the helicopter with a very nice sticker. So even though useless vehicles are included, at least we get somewhere to put them. But the flip side of that is that we had a lot less space for the actual compound. Now, you can actually disconnect the compound from the garage. You just have to like break a couple pieces, but I'm not going to do that right now. Again, I like that the garage has windows. Did I build that wrong? I'm not sure, actually. I feel like they're supposed to be stacked on top of each other. But I also like, you know, that it had this kind of rack of tools outside. However, again, this is a very small actual compound. I mean, this set was $100. It's called Avengers Compound Battle, and the actual compound is like, what? It's like, sorry, I'm trying to count in my head. It's like less than 20 studs wide, or it is 20 studs wide. It's not very large. So I took off the extra bits from the new compound so that you can see what a size difference that is. It doesn't widen it by like that many studs, probably about, well, actually, no, probably a decent amount, by about 10. So it's about a third of the way larger, and it looks a lot better, you know, with that added piece count. All right, and now it's interior time. Surprisingly, the interiors are almost identical. On the ground floor, you have a little reception area that's much smaller on the new version than it is on the old. The old version, this was just a ton of wasted space, in my opinion. You just had like a standing computer terminal, which is boring. Like, that's such a waste of what little space you have down here, so that always irritated me. But then on the side here, you've got some laser bars protecting the Infinity Gauntlet, which you can slide out. This was a piece that we had seen the year before, and it did come with 2 Infinity Stones, the Time and Power Stone, I believe, but I didn't bother digging those out. So I like that, you know, you had that, and you could whatever try to make it a play feature by pretending like it was being blown out of the wall. On the new set, you also have a gauntlet holding area, but it is not for the Infinity Gauntlet, it's for the Nano Gauntlet. This is a very nice table. It's got some great stickers with some nice references from the movie, but this is a minifigure scale Nano Gauntlet, which means it's just a red glove. That's boring in my opinion. If Lego wants to keep doing minifigure scale gauntlets, they should be printed, or I would have really just preferred them including the full-size nano gauntlet, because that's only appeared in one Lego set ever. We've still got laser bars on the new version though, because now this area is a cell that you can actually fit Thanos in. If I just pop out his sword, and again, you guys can check out my review if you want to see, you know, like the full thing. You just have to make sure his arms are in the right position, and then he will fit in there. But what annoys me about this is that it also kind of feels like wasted space to me, because Thanos fits in there and you can lock him up, but he's not that much taller than the floor, so I don't understand why the floor just isn't raised up by like literally one brick, and then it could go over his head, and then you could have a complete second level. So all in all, to me, the right sides of both of these builds are kind of wasted, because down here there's nothing on the right side, and then up here there's nothing on the right side, and there easily could have been something there on both sets. As for the upper floor, once again the similarities continue, because in both sets it's just a conference room. The new one sadly doesn't have any chairs. You just have like these tile pieces, which I don't like. These are not a substitute for chairs for me. These are stools, and I want actual seats for my minifigures. We've also got kind of a sad potted plant in the corner, but hey, at least there's something. But this table is just, again, it's just there. It's got a printed piece, a couple mugs, but that's all you can do. You've got some weapons on the side here, and then you do have some nice stickers of other minifigures that come in other sets, and that is, again, accurate to the start of the movie. However, this one was a lot nicer to me. I will say, I do like the tan floor color a lot better than the white. The white feels very clinical and like, you know, like a laboratory, but the tan does make it feel a bit more homey while still fitting with that modern aesthetic. But this older set had actual chairs, which is a huge plus in my opinion. It had a much bigger table, so that's nice, but you can also lift this off, and inside there was weapon storage, so you have 2 guns in there hidden in the table. I always really loved that feature. I love it when, you know, Lego tables can like open up and hide things underneath. So I'm kind of disappointed to get such a small table here, because again, this made very good use of this space. We even have a sticker up on the wall. And then over here, there's a little section. If you turn this from the outside, you can stick a minifigure in there, and then you can turn it around and act like it's a door or an elevator or something. And then that leads them across this elevated walkway to the helipad. That is, once more, a feature that I always loved, because that's how elevators work in the Star Wars sets, and we never really see stuff like this in Marvel. So I thought that that was a fantastic use of space. I couldn't have asked for anything more in this room. Whereas here, you just have a ton of wasted space all the way over above Thanos as well. And lastly, you do have an Avengers logo on this side of the building. On the new version, I am guessing that that's where the destroyed one comes from. The new version also has sloping walls. I kind of like that. It gives easier access to the interior, but I do like the new roof better as well, because this one had a cutout, which was great for being able to get in, but it's kind of strange. I like just having, you know, a straight roof that doesn't go over the whole thing, that just goes over, you know, like where the walls kind of like narrowed into. And then lastly, we do have a satellite up on this roof, and then this roof has a couple of spring-loaded missiles. All right, well, that pretty much does it for this comparison. Now comes the hard part. Which one do I like better? As you guys can tell, I really like some parts of the old one. I really like some parts of the new one. And then there are things that I don't like about both. So honestly, I don't know if I can pick a favorite one, because the new one, I do think it's a better value for money. The old one wasn't terrible for $100, but you can get much better value from other Lego sets. And again, what are you paying for with $100? Like, the 2 big figs drive up the price. Then you've got the 2 vehicles that a lot of us don't care about. And then you've got the garage to hold those vehicles, when all we wanted back then was an Avengers compound, not like half an Avengers compound in a set full of useless things. The new one is better value for money. I feel like it is completely worth the $70. I don't even think like the price is driven up by the big fig that much. And I think it looks a lot better, especially from the outside. But I don't like the interior as much. Both of them have wasted space, but I really think that the old set had better playability. Between the vehicles, between all of like the shooting missiles, and then between, you know, things like the hidden guns and like the fact that you can kind of blow out the wall of the Infinity Gauntlet holding area, I think the old one had a lot more playability. And again, I just can't get over that really nice little like elevator feature onto that elevated walkway. That's like my favorite part of the 2019 set, which isn't really something they could have done on the 2021 one. But the 2021 set doesn't have any clever features to make up for what it lost. You know what I mean? the table can't open anymore. You don't have like a removable wall. You don't have like even that many shooty bits. You have one giant spring-loaded missile. That's kind of a waste of space, and that's it. So I do think the old one is a lot more fun to play with, but the new one is a much better display piece. So I'm planning on just building out a large Avengers compound. That's why I got a second copy of the 2019 set. And I don't know if I'm going to destroy these guys or how I'm going to do it, but I feel like I kind of just like to play around and create my own. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I will see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.